Hey everybody, welcome to the ASS Podcast, the Animation Success Stories podcast. If you've never watched or listened before, what it is essentially is we talk to people in the animation industry professionals to be more specific, and we hear their stories. We hear the trouble they had to go through, the mountains they needed to climb, and the rivers they needed to traverse in order to get to where they are now in the animation industry. Today, we are talking to Dominic Polcino right over here. We'll find out all about Dom in a minute. Dom was, just to give you a quick little highlight, he started off as a layout artist on season 2 of The Simpsons. Since then, he made strides, and he pretty much directed every show that you like. He's directed The Simpsons, Family Guy, Mission Hill, Rick and Morty, HBO's Animals.
Futurama.
Did you work on Futurama?
No. King of the Hill.
King of the Hill. That's the one I was. That's the one I was.
Everybody's favorite, The Cleveland Show.
And everyone's favorite, The Cleveland Show. And more recently, he's worked on Harmon Quest, my current favorite show because I worked on it. It's the best.
Me too. I worked on season.
We're gonna find out all about Dom. We're gonna find out all about his ass. We're gonna dig deep inside of it and find all about it.
Yes.
Right after this. Welcome back to the Ass. We're here with Dominic Polcino.
Hello, folks.
No, it's fine.
Supposed to introduce myself? Let's start again.
Okay, we're here with Dominic.
Hey, how's it going?
That's better.
That is more like it.
Right, energy.
Yeah, you got to feel the energy of the room, you know. So how's it going, Dom?
It's going great.
Oh, cool. It's going really good. I forgot to. Sabrina. Yeah, I forgot
How you doing?
We forgot to introduce ourselves.
I work with these guys.
Yeah, you know.
You have to introduce, or is that in the title credits?
I mean,
talk about
sometimes we introduce ourselves. Today I didn't, but you just did for us.
Yeah,
so.
we haven't introduced ourselves in a while.
In a long time.
Thank you for pointing that out, Dom.
And forgot about us.
I always forget about us.
Let's go around the room then.
All right, I'm Sabrina. What's up, guys?
My name's Ant. Coming at you.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
And I need this because the.
Hey, you
Dominic.
can actually do that.
Yeah,
And of course,
I'm Brian.
that's Brian for
And
you.
then there's Nick.
And
Say
Nick's
hi,
back
Nick.
there. Nick's our camera guy and our audio guy. He does all that cool stuff for us. All right, so let's get on topic here. We are here to find out all about Dominic's ass, his animation success story. We want to find out
We are on a quest.
where he started and how he got to the position he's in now. And as I said before, you heard that music before, he's pretty much directed every cartoon that you love. So we're going to find out all about that. We're going to start off the way we start off pretty much every podcast we're trying to at this point is, what's your first animation memory? What's your first time that animation's really affected you?
First of all, I never liked it.
I believe that.
I hated cartoons.
I feel
so
like
I wanted
that's
them
a
all
lie.
to die.
I don't know what I wanted to do, but I was always drawing as a kid and watching Warner Brothers cartoons with my brother.
Yeah.
And we'd be watching. And I'd try to draw Bugs Bunny, but he's moving constantly. So I draw by the end of one
Did you
7-minute cartoon.
Yeah.
What?
Did you yell at the TV? Stop moving!
This is before, I guess, VHS. We can record and pause.
Dates me. Shit, I shouldn't have said that.
All right, wait, keep saying. I want to hear what you did. So at the end of the 7-minute...
You draw, you'd have an ear. And then, then I got to figure out how to draw his face. And then you'd watch another cartoon and you get his face down until you finally figure it all out.
Wow.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
That's a lot of work.
So you had to rewatch the cartoon over and over again until you and each episode was a different body part, and after you watched 10 cartoons, you Frankenstein together.
Frankenstein it, and then I knew what I was doing.
You know what's funny?
That's passion.
Just again to also date you, is that on Mission Hill there's a sequence when Andy's arms move super fast and it's smeared really well. I froze that and copied it out myself.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, how'd they do that? And I would video it to VHS frame by frame and go scrub through it.
So Mission Hill
Yeah.
was your Bugs Bunny.
Yes.
And Dom worked on Mission Hill.
in many ways.
So
yes.
Dom contributed to your Bugs Bunny moment.
But you were able to freeze it.
Yeah, because
that.
I had a VHS tape.
Ah, yes.
Right.
So that was how old were you when you were watching Bugs, Dom? What was your age at that point? Were you a little 4-year-old, 10-year-old, 20-year-old?
10-year-old maybe.
10-year-old?
Little tyke.
Cool. So you were drawing as soon as as far back as you can remember, like 4 years old. You were drawing, you think?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Cool. And were you always relatively gifted at it, or was it something you needed to work at?
It's something I wanted to do, so I kept doing it
Mhm.
and kept getting better without really thinking about it.
Cool. And was Bugs Bunny your only real inspiration as a kid, or was there a lot like Looney Tunes, or was there other cartoons that you remember watching as a lad?
I watched a lot of things, whatever Hanna-Barbera had throwing at me.
All that good stuff. All the characters look relatively the same, so they're probably easy to draw.
Wacky races. It's an imaginative medium. So anything that had like flying cars and
That's pretty cool. Was Looney Tunes your favorite though?
I think so. That's
Cool.
probably why I mentioned it.
Indeed, that's cool. That's a good first animation memory. I mean, even me as a kid and as much younger, I remember Bugs as one of my first animation memories as well, for sure. So when did you decide that you wanted to use your drawing and push it towards something you wanted to do with your life?
Well, I always wanted to be like a cartoonist or something.
Mm-hmm.
I was a big fan of comics.
Oh,
Like,
Was
Cool.
that at a very young age?
Walt Kelly's Pogo was one of
Pogo, nice.
influence. Yeah, very young age. And then I figured I never thought of we work in a business,
Mhm.
and that's hundreds of people, and I was just a shy drawer.
Yeah,
Is that what they're called?
drawer.
Drawer.
That's what I said as a kid. I
Yeah.
was like, I want to be a drawer. I didn't know
Yeah.
what else to say.
So
Oh, you're a
you
drawer?
Yeah. So I didn't know what it would become
Mhm.
in the real world, but the easiest thing that you could have control over would be like a comic strip.
Mhm.
So I was kind of gearing myself toward that,
Towards
Doing comics.
comics, and then when I went to college, I tried to go to film.
Oh,
For some
cool.
reason, I just thought I could write movies 'cause
Uh-huh.
I'm just a high school kid who never wrote anything.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I thought I was pretty
Did-
bitchin' for some reason.
Did you have any any classes of some sort in your your elementary, middle school, high school, or whatever? Do you remember any specific classes that you took that you remember drawing a lot in,
Art
or
classes?
really honing in on
Cartooning
your art
classes?
skills?
We didn't have anything special. Like, it was just the classic, take your art class and do what you want with it,
Mhm.
kind of. So,
Mhm.
but I always liked it. That was my favorite class.
Okay.
Did you have teachers that encouraged you?
I drew stuff and I sculpted.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Ooh.
you still do that?
little things and
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
And what else do people do?
Draw and sculpt.
Life
Paint.
drawing,
They
still
might-
life.
They might paint.
Still like
Watercolor?
Yeah.
Watercolor.
Charcoal.
I remember though
Yeah.
when I did I was in high school and I did my self-portrait.
Oh yeah, those are always fun.
And then when you compare it to the one the teacher did, it was like mine was better. So it's like,
Oh.
kinda
Oh.
You're like, take that, teacher. Well, that was in high school?
probably under. Probably.
Oh,
Wow.
Like junior high, middle school?
Yeah.
Look at you.
Wow.
You're like a prodigy.
So you did
that
have
that guy just wasn't very good.
so you worked at it a lot, but you also had some natural talent, you think, as well. It was something that you kind of, if you were better than your teacher in middle school, then you probably had some natural talent.
It's just a talent and things you do,
Mhm.
and it is constantly.
And I guess since you
doing
loved it so much and you did it
Yeah.
all the time, you got good at it quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, is there any specific memory in elementary, middle, or high school where you had somebody encouraging you to do this, like an art teacher or a parent or something that was like, "Yeah, you can do it," or people, or is this kind of your own thing you did in your own
No, that's
little
real
world?
important. My dad was an artist. He used to do comics and
Oh, there you go.
photography.
Cool.
That's
So-
huge.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing to start with.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
not starting against something, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I got used to that though, but
So
I
you,
have two brothers, and they also got into art and stuff.
oh,
so.
cool. So your dad, he did comics. Was it like a newspaper
Ooh.
comic, 3-panel, or was it just something he did for fun?
Like single panel cartoons.
Oh, cool.
But
Wow.
Did he publish it?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
That's
pretty
cool
But
that
he
was
a
so-
photographer.
Mhm.
And he had stuff in newspapers.
So it was in your family for sure. It was like a bloodline thing almost.
Probably.
I don't know if
That's-
that's how art works.
It's you know what? It tends to art tends to run in the family. If you draw, if you're really good at art or something, one of your parents seem to be good at it too. And then so on and so forth.
Huh.
I can say that with my own family. It draws back at least every other generation somebody who had some sort of art skills or something.
contagious.
It's contagious.
But you need at least one parent to say,
Yeah.
pat you on the head.
Yes.
Otherwise, how would you know to foster that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like if they're both saying, "Stop it, art's for losers, go into business," then you're probably, unless you're like a real rebel, like you're probably gonna knock yourself towards that. But that's good that you had.
Let's go into family dynamics, guys.
Hey, this is it's something we never really touched on in the podcast before, so it's kind of good.
We'll go into psychology later.
So you had your dad encouraging you. He was doing comics with you. That's pretty cool. Did while you were in high school, leading up to college, you said you went to college for filmmaking? You didn't go to college for animation or for art? You went for filmmaking?
No, I said he tried to go for filmmaking.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. What did you actually end up going for?
I ended up doing an undergrad at UCLA for art.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then in that school, you're supposed to be able to, when you're a junior, apply to the film school at that point. So you put it off for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
And then you apply for the film school. And then by then I had done some animation and at the school. And then I asked that guy, I told him I was going to apply for film school. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, if you apply for animation, you're in.
Oh,
so rather
than
roll the dice on live action, I went for...
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Probably because everyone's going for film.
Yeah.
And he already, knew me, and I was in. Basically, I was,
Wait, was this...
Yeah, it's very competitive.
Was this the process? Was this the process for your college education, getting into college? Or was this...
This is 2 years. So you went 2 years...
I'm sorry, that was my... I got it all confused.
Yeah. Okay, wait, okay,
that
so...
was to go to grad school.
How did you come across UCLA? Like, what was...
Are you from here in California?
Oh, I grew up in Washington State, and then later in...
Pennsylvania,
and also in San Diego.
Okay. See, okay.
Why did you move around so much? Was it a parent thing where they were changing jobs? Or were you just a hobo? Did you have like a bindle? Like travel on train?
My parents didn't enjoy the East Coast.
Oh, okay.
And they came west.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. Nice. So
when exactly did you move to California, and what made you move here? Like...
Well, my parents moved to California because the schools had good... The UC system had a really good... it was cheap.
Okay.
It was a good school. I don't know if it is anymore.
It's not cheap.
It's definitely not cheap anymore.
That was the whole point of it. It used to be free
when
it started.
Yeah, I remember back in the day.
My mom went to UCLA.
Yeah.
Basically for free.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It used to be like it was state subsidized for the public schools. It was a public school technically.
Well, and I know, like, at one point in time, too, I think in other countries, like, college education was free completely.
Yeah. and that's the thing. Now that, like, public schools are super expensive, like UCLA, the private schools get to be even more expensive, like USC.
Yeah.
So you basically got to go to UCLA. Your parents ended up moving here because they knew that
some of their kids wanted
to go to...
They would want their kids to go to college.
And it would be cheap if they...
Yeah.
And it would be a good school as well.
Yeah. So it was really good.
So it was like a double whammy.
How many siblings do you have again?
3.
Okay.
3 siblings. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Cool. We'll learn all about them later, maybe.
And they're also artists.
We have to spend 1 hour on each sibling. That's how this podcast works, Tom. Okay?
Well, I heard your brother's in the industry, too, right?
My brother Mike, he's a director on The Simpsons.
Okay.
Currently,
That's
right?
so cool.
Currently.
That's pretty cool.
I wish my family was in it with me.
But
we will. Yeah, we're gonna get to the Simpsons shortly because that was your. Well, I want to lead up to that. But okay, so
what led you to UCLA?
Yeah. So you're in UCLA. Your parents kind of did they ask you to go to that school, or is that your choice?
Again, it was like things were given to me because I applied to UCLA and USC because they had the best film schools.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard back first from UCLA.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, cool.
Who accepted me. So
nice.
I was like,
so you're like,
take
boom.
the bird in the hand, boom.
Bird in the hand, for sure. Worth 2 in the bush, I hear.
What
kind of show is this?
Isn't that the saying, the bird in the hand?
I don't even know what you
correct.
just said. I think he's
it.
making shit up.
Dom's just fucking with you.
Okay, so you're at UCLA. You said you went 2 years. You did art at UCLA, and then why were you doing animation if you took a general art thing? Was that one of the choices there at the UCLA to do an animation class?
Oh, as an undergrad, you can have access to like starting courses, 101 courses and everything. I took some live action stuff too.
Oh, cool! Wow.
What do they call it? Electives?
Electives.
So you're pretty well rounded there at UCLA. You did a lot of
Jack
pretty
of all
much
trades.
every kind of art thing you could think of. You took.
Did you
said you sculpted, right?
Did you do performing arts too?
Performing arts.
Just kidding.
You did
Did
act.
you
That was
dance?
its own
Ballet?
performance art.
Yeah.
Was its own major.
Yeah.
So I did not. Although I did
Damn
act
it.
in a bunch of in some of my
I can
friends'
see you acting.
That
films.
counts.
Yeah, that
I
counts.
can,
for-
yeah,
Okay,
that's
yeah.
performing arts.
Yeah, because people were like making films.
Yeah,
Cool.
that makes sense.
And I was like wanting to do everything,
Uh-huh.
which is kind of advice that I would give in the next chapter when we talk about actually getting into jobs.
Yeah,
It's like whenever there's an
We will talk
opportunity,
just do it.
do it.
Okay.
Do
If
it.
you want to do it, do it.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
That always pays off.
Indeed. Okay, so let's see where our story's taking us now. Your professor, you wanted to go into film, but your professor said, "Hey, you should go to animation. You're in," and that's when you decided, "Okay, that's what I'll do." And that was your grad school or third year at UCLA, or what was that again?
So that would be my grad school.
Your
I
grad
did
school.
The full 4 year.
You did the full 4 year.
For
Okay.
high school. I mean, not high school.
Undergrad.
For college, undergrad.
They still call it undergrad.
Yeah, they still call it undergrad.
Cool. So you did 4 year.
Those terms confuse
It was
me.
$5,000 a year,
Oh my god.
So-
which I thought
yeah.
was a lot back then.
Yeah, I mean,
It
yeah.
was a lot back then.
Back then, I guess it was a lot, but right
It was
now
doable. It
we're
was
smacking
doable,
ourselves.
And half of it could be grants and loans.
Now it's probably like 30 grand a
Yeah,
year.
because
Yeah.
my
Easily.
overall tuition was like $100,000 at my school.
Crazy.
That's why I don't
What
understand
school was
people can
that?
put them.
The Art Institute.
Yeah, not UCLA by any stretch of
Yeah,
imagination.
Yeah,
shit
so
school.
We have a problem.
Sorry.
Yeah, we definitely have
What's
a problem in
this
this country.
Yeah. You want to all move to Canada? Let's make a pact.
We'd have to have another podcast just to talk about all the problems we have in this country.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
schools and shit.
We
Yeah.
can go hours on
need
hours
to.
on that.
Anyways,
So you grad school, you decided to do animation, huh?
That's just sad.
Why is that sad?
No, I mean because where I came from,
Yeah.
it was like it was the dream. It was like you do the teaching,
Uh-huh.
you study, and then you get the job. And I don't know if that happens anymore, does it?
no, you can do all the studying you want, and then sometimes it like the school is basically like it's fine. We just want your freaking money. Like I know my school is
Yeah.
known for like not placing people with jobs. Like so many people go to this one school for animation, and then they like graduate, and then they don't get jobs.
Yeah, and you also look at the state of the industry where we're at, where what entry level jobs are there for people straight out of school? It's like
Yeah.
you need to be like production ready out the gate because like they don't have entry level.
They don't
jobs.
even teach
Yeah.
how to like apply to this stuff.
Ooh,
That's
that's why
another-
we're
My,
here.
my school was
We're here
very
for that.
theoretical, though. I
Yeah.
would say they didn't teach you how to make it as an artist. They just told you how to draw,
That's
and
fine.
then not even that.
Not-
But you had the time, and it didn't put you in debt.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
experiment and make films. Like I made like 3 films coming out of grad school.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which means you have to know how to do sound. You have to know how to do picture.
Yeah.
You have to do all those things. So then you're so ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So-
regardless
yeah.
of
I
what
feel
the
like there should
industry's
be
like.
some sort of like reimbursement or something of your money if you can't like get a job or something
That is,
out
like,
of
some
a
idealistic
prestigious
thinking right
freaking
there.
college.
Tell Bernie Sanders that.
That's yeah.
That's
That's
his next
that's
proposal.
Yeah, that's some high level like socialism you got going on there. I like it.
We like your train of
One
thought
day,
there,
guys.
Sabrina.
One day, we'll see.
Probably not.
I'll start a movement.
All right. So in UCLA, Dom, during grad school, did you make any valuable contacts there or anything like that? How did you end up going from UCLA grad school animation to your first gig in animation, your first paid gig? And was there any point while you were in grad school where you were like, "Oh, I'm just going to study this, but this isn't going to be my career," or you always knew that once you were in grad school there at UCLA, you wanted to do animation as a career?
Well, back then there wasn't really a good career in animation.
Oh, yeah?
It wasn't like today's market where there's so many great TV shows to
Networks
work
and
on,
stuff,
and
yeah.
movies. And
Yeah. I forgot. I just heard someone. Oh, I was at Andrea Romano at Batman Mask of the Phantasm yesterday, and she said that there's like 500 animation jobs going on right now.
Wow.
Yeah. When you think about it, it's probably the case when you consider all
It
the
makes
different
sense because
shows,
not
like
only is there
Yeah.
TV,
But that's
there's
international
internet now.
too. Yeah, internet, international.
that's
Yeah.
a small. That's still a small group.
It is. I mean, it's not like finance, but you
Yeah.
consider that there's potentially 500 different like shows and productions that could be going
there's
through. People can work for
movies.
movies as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not just shows; it's movies
It's a lot
too.
of stuff. It's true, but when you consider the amount of people that
And
want to get
commercials.
into it, I guess it's still like Dom
It's
said,
very
it's
limited.
Still pretty limited.
Yeah.
So you were saying, Dom, like, okay, so animation as a career, you never really thought of it that way, or
Well,
you
here's
did?
the I just wanted
Yeah.
to make stuff, and I wanted to be a cartoonist of some sort.
Mhm.
So like, there wasn't any cool shows though. Like there was just starting to do shows like Ren and Stimpy and Mighty Mouse.
Uh-huh.
Like by the end of it, but there wasn't anything interesting. There was a real dead period. That's why Matt Groening did so well, because they finally greenlit a show that was interesting.
Yeah, it was right
Yeah.
before the animation boom, which started with The Simpsons and Beavis and Butthead.
For sure.
Simpsons, Beavis and Butthead, and Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was like in 89, 90, and but before that, He-Man was pretty much.
Oh my God! Yeah, the
Yeah.
80
If
cartoons
you
were
wanted to work
terrible.
on a
Yeah.
cartoon, the
Smurfs, yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, but it wasn't what I was interested in.
Yeah.
You could always do a kid thing, but
Uh-huh.
but animation, when
The
you,
Snorks.
especially when you study it,
Yeah.
you look at the great stuff from Europe and from Canada. The Canadian Film Board had all these
Mhm.
great films that used to show shorts like on HBO and stuff.
Oh yeah, animated shorts on
Yeah,
HBO.
animated shorts. And you'd
Oh,
be like-
really?
And that's besides like Warner Brothers, which was very adult. These guys were totally sophisticated and adult stuff, and you just,
Uh-huh.
and that just you never thought, oh, well, I can make money doing that. You just thought that's cool. I like it. But there
Interesting.
wasn't a market for it, so I didn't.
I didn't know
what
that was
what
yeah.
happened.
So they showed like just independent shorts on like HBO and stuff, like from Canada.
Yeah, they started
Oh, I
getting
had no
a
idea.
lot more
That's
like
cool.
that. Like, even like Pee-wee's Playhouse had
Yeah.
little animated bits. They started. Music videos were big back when I was growing
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
so
for
we'd
sure.
all
That's another
work on a video
platform.
or two, and they
Yeah.
were very cool. They were
Uh-huh.
experimental.
Nickelodeon had a lot of those too, like Viacom. At least that was their connection. Yeah.
Oh right, yeah, I guess so. And then
So-
early '90s, that's when Nickelodeon, I guess, started with Ren and
Late,
Stimpy, right?
late '80s, really, because
Oh,
we
yeah.
had like the Elephant Show, Mr. Wizard.
Oh right.
Yeah,
right.
those were like late '80s Nickelodeon properties, but they had animated shorts on that.
Oh,
as
the original animated shorts were on those
well.
shows.
Mhm. But those are all from Canada.
Oh,
We weren't producing
coming
anything
back
in
to
the
Canada.
States.
So can you describe the year where you started? I guess if you were graduated already or in the process of graduating, how did you land your first job? Like, how was that year? Like, how did it go about?
Okay, well, I think I took. I did a few little projects
Mhm.
of my own that I drummed up.
After school or during school?
During school.
Was it like thesis films or something?
No, you just like see like on the bulletin board.
Mhm.
Maybe this is helpful to be in a school because they have a bulletin board.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
have projects.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
some guy says I need a guy to make a cool title sequence. And
Yeah,
I'm the
okay.
guy, and then he tells me what it is, and I like.
I
Yeah,
always
we had
tell
that.
artists, even today, I was like, if you got any friends and they're working on like any shorts or anything, work on it with them.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if that turns into anything, that's your connection into
Mhm.
like another avenue, another gig.
Yeah.
Nick
Did
does
you
that a lot.
did you end up getting paid for these things, Dom, or they were just like, hey, there's a guy at my school who went making the thing. I'll help him and for experience, or did you ask him to pay you?
Oh no, I got paid a lot.
Oh.
You demanded money right off the
Yeah.
bat.
Nice.
Yeah, no,
You're like, I'll do it if I get
learned
paid.
that you got to, a thing deserves this.
Right.
What's the
Compensation. Compensation.
Yes, compensation.
for
yeah.
work done.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
And
I
somebody
think
with
I
a
got
certain
paid, like,
skill set.
$5,000 for like 15 seconds.
Oh wow.
Wow.
15 seconds animation.
A couple times.
By
And
a
this is
student?
while you were in school?
No, they was like from MTV or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
while I was in school.
Wow.
Oh wait, so this
crazy.
project was for MTV? That was on the bulletin board?
No, you know what it was? It was for Comedy Channel.
Oh, before it was
Before
Comedy
Comedy
Central.
Central.
So wait, you had like actual TV like networks putting stuff up on the bulletin board at your school saying that we need people doing this?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's
Nice.
cool. So you guys had
Yeah.
job postings literally on a bulletin board at your college.
Why it's a
well,
job
they'd call 'em,
posting.
they'd say, those are where the
Oh.
animators are, and they are cheap.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. Because I was thinking like literally
Yeah,
like
yeah.
because at our school we just had a bulletin board where like students put up like their own projects and then they were like,
no,
hey
it
guys.
should be from the industry should be
Yeah.
seeking you guys
Yeah,
out.
especially if you're a
That
grad
should
student
be.
and
That's
this is your
so
career
awesome.
path. They know that these are the students they want to grab to do good work
Yeah.
on their projects. So that's pretty cool. So that was your first. So that bulletin board was the gateway to your first professional gigs.
Yeah, that's fair to say.
You should go back to that bulletin
But it
board
was
and
very-
praise it.
Yeah.
But it was me sitting at home
hmm
drawing, just
Yeah.
like I did when I was 4. So
Yeah.
it's
You make it sound like it's a bad thing.
no, but it was interesting.
But now you're
It's
getting
amazing.
$5,000 for it, which is great.
I mean, some of those I think I put up on my. I think I put up all my student stuff on YouTube.
Oh, cool. We got to check it out.
Look up
Check
my
out
name.
Dom's YouTube. Where just
Yeah, what's
Google
your
Dominic
YouTube?
Polcino.
You'll find it somehow.
Oh yeah, cool.
You don't know
Great.
your exact YouTube channel handle or whatever?
No, give them a challenge, okay?
Well, we want to post that later on in the description for this episode.
We'll put in the description. So
Okay.
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
It'll be in the link
Thank you.
below.
Thank you.
It's like a treasure hunt. They got to find Dom's old stuff somewhere online.
But what you're talking about connections, that's important though, because
Yeah.
my first gig with a group of people that
Uh-huh.
wasn't by myself was like one person was like heard about, like they had a project
Uh-huh.
and he went to UCLA before, so he was like, let me get all those guys.
Oh,
And like
nice.
I was working with all my guys. It was a Mattel project, and it was called See and Say or something. Anyways, it was a weird project.
Brian knows.
for
I
kids.
think I remember seeing say.
It was
Yeah.
something to do with a kid
Uh-huh.
picks up a phone and can push a button on it and change how the animation goes.
Oh.
So it's like, which one's the square?
What?
And then they push the square and it goes, yes. Or if you
Like
push
Dora?
if you push the circle,
Essentially.
it goes, not really, because it doesn't want to be negative.
Yeah. Try again.
So it's
Good
like,
try.
no, you stupid motherfucker.
Wait, what did you do for it?
So there was animations between all
Okay.
the choices they have to make.
And this was like this was an independent thing that somebody bought, like a
From
toy?
Mattel.
A whole game.
It was a game from Mattel.
And then it had a
With the
screen.
video.
It had like a screen on
You
it.
put the video in, it works interactively.
Oh.
And I imagine they had like different ones you can change out, so it had different kind of see and says. So it's
So you had,
probably
like,
more than
shapes,
one.
and then like animals, and then like body parts. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Okay, it's been a while.
Sounds perverted.
It's been a while.
Seriously, it's so pre-computer.
We-
Like it's like at the time it felt like it was the new thing.
Yeah.
We all
That
have
does
those,
sound like the new thing back
I did
in the
stuff
time.
with Leapfrog for like a few months, and yeah, I was like, I don't remember what. I didn't play the product. I just remember doing the animation.
We gotta find a See and Say and like find Dominic's What did you animate exactly?
What
You
is
animated
See
the
and
square and the circle.
It's an old
No,
toy.
no, it's like animals.
I'm gonna look it up right
Okay.
now.
Walking
Okay.
and talking.
Oh, so you
It sounds
animated little
Spanish.
animals and stuff.
It's a whole cartoon.
No, not C. Like not
C,
C.
yes.
C. Not like C. CI.
CSA.
CSA.
It sounds so like
No, not CSA.
you even went like this. What is
Yeah.
this?
It's see and say.
Yeah, like you
That's-
look.
Oh, see and say.
Almost Sabrina. Yeah.
There
You guys like kind of blended it together, so I thought it was like some Spanish word
CSA.
Where are you from, Sabrina?
from
Thought you were
California,
American.
I thought we were American.
from Chatsworth,
Thought we were American here, Sabrina. America.
Thought you were Chatsworth.
the porn capital.
So See and Say. So you got the bulletin board. You did some stuff for Comedy Channel. You did some stuff for See and Say Mattel. When did you get your first industry gig, and how did that happen? What was your first like actual industry gig? This is See and Say. That's like
See and say.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's the old toys.
So Dom,
so
you worked
there's-
on this?
But I don't think he worked on
That's
that one.
not the
That
exact
would need
one.
some video.
There's
Yeah.
so
We'll
many
go
things that we don't even know. Probably.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it. If you are trying to get into the business,
Uh-huh.
there's shows like we work on.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably so many things like that you wouldn't even know
Yeah.
are hiring people to do stuff.
Yeah.
And now there's probably tons more. Like every app has like some kind of animation
right.
thing in it, right?
Or there's even like stuff being created for toys.
Yep. Toys, sure.
Like there's even shows being created specifically just for toys.
Oh,
Like
that-
I know Hasbro, they have like
Hasbro
a bunch
has a
of
whole-
yeah. Like
Does Mattel
DC.
still have a
Oh, yeah.
company too?
I think so. Yeah. Mattel has.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
shit,
they
there's
they
My
have
Little
Barbie.
Pony.
Hot Wheels, Barbie.
Yeah. Barbie has its own.
My
They have like
Little
Yeah,
DVD shows
that's a big one.
and
Shows
yeah,
and stuff.
cartoons all the time.
Oh yeah,
Just
Barbie.
commercials.
So-
Bratz had one for a while.
Bratz had one.
I
Yeah.
had to do a few commercials. I forgot.
You did some what commercials?
Those were hard. Back in the day, they were really hard. Like I did a Tony the Tiger.
Yay!
Oh, you animated Tony the Tiger?
I animated like a second,
Oh, nice.
and it took me like a week, and I was like, I'm out of here.
Hey Tony.
It was like a frame by frame Tony
I
the
like
Tiger
the
animation.
things
But those things are like done on ones
Tony.
almost.
On ones,
Yeah.
because they have to go with live action, which is.
Did you have to listen to the song over and over?
No.
If I could, I would be you.
I was just in betweening it, but it was
Yeah.
so particular, and then
Yeah.
not only that, like he has 3 levels of shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I
it-
remember
it
that.
couldn't just
He's-
it wasn't before computers.
Yeah.
Everything had to look like it belongs in the
Oh, wow.
live action.
Yeah.
And hand drawn
That's pretty cool.
Pretty ridiculous.
I love Tony.
That's insane, man. Yeah, I can't imagine. Like,
I know the whole song by
people putting
heart.
all that work. That song wasn't invented till like after Dom animated that. But that was like 2000.
No,
or
the old Tony the Tiger song.
Hey
That was-
Tony,
Bring out the
I
tiger
like
in
the
you.
thing you do. That one? That's the one.
No,
you're thinking
no,
of, right?
you're thinking the '90s one. There's the one from the '80s.
Okay,
where it's
well, I
like,
was
he has
born
a
in the
song.
90s.
yes,
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
song.
He has a
yes.
song that no one
If
really
I
knows.
could-
The one we probably
Nick is
remember
cracking
is
up
the one
over
like
here.
the one we remember is like brings out the tiger in you. They're great.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that one I
what?
remember. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
That
an
sounds
80s
cool,
one.
too.
Is that the tiger? That's not like a condom commercial or something?
Oh, yeah.
it's probably. Did you animate any condom commercials?
Tony's condoms.
Yeah,
Tony's tigers.
we
What?
got some condoms here.
They're
Some guy
adequate.
from New Jersey just selling condoms. I poked only 3 holes. Okay, so you worked on a commercial. So was the commercial your first industry gig?
Commercials were also really big.
Yeah.
A deal at the time.
Uh-huh.
I mean, because animation wasn't as big as it is now, there was all these really great artists that had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Like the guy who did the gasoline, was it Exxon or Chevron or something?
Oh,
Or
I don't know.
the dinosaurs showed the dinosaurs coming out of the.
Could it be Dynamart? I don't know. That's a gas place.
No, it's showing like where oil came from.
Oh,
forget
I
who
remember
did
that
those.
short.
But they
Yeah.
kind of go back into oil. They grow and it's horrible.
So we're like,
But it's
we're using
really well
we're
animated.
using dead dinosaurs
Yeah,
to fuel our
but they
car.
made it seem fun.
Yeah, I mean, it
So
seemed
there.
fun. That's pretty cool. So there was a lot of opportunity after UCLA, even though it wasn't directly on television animation. There was like games and there was commercials and stuff, and that's kind of where you found your home for a little while.
Yeah, I don't know how to give advice. The world is so different now. Like before, though, we did it because we loved it. Maybe that's always a good thing too,
Yeah, for sure.
to keep in
course.
mind for life.
Always a good
Mhm.
thing.
For life.
Yeah.
That's your thing. Do it. If you sing. If you draw, draw. And we just got lucky that the Simpsons came along
Oh.
and started an entire thing. You know.
Yeah. So how long was it like till when you graduated UCLA and The Simpsons came along? How long was that gap?
I don't think there was a gap. I think
Oh.
I didn't quit school until I had a job.
Oh wow.
Wait, did you graduate?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't-
You said quit.
I didn't file the papers because I didn't want to leave school.
Mhm. So you-
Why would you want to do that?
Wow. So you got
Some
on The
people do
Simpsons
nowadays.
It's
Nowadays,
only $5,000 though,
That's
yeah,
true, yeah.
nowadays it's
including
worth.
room and board.
Yeah, now it.
and
Holy
food.
crap!
So
okay, stop rubbing
you were
it in.
living at school while working on The Simpsons.
Oh well, no. I mean, had an apartment.
Okay.
By then.
Got it.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
So you were out of school, like when you did get the job, you like graduated and everything. Yes, no. Like, were you attending classes at the same time as like the working on The Simpsons?
No, I think I was ready to go. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
But you
Got
were
the
doing some
degree.
commercials and some game stuff while you were in school.
Yeah,
But then you
for
finished
sure.
school and you hopped on The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So
Which
right
I got
away, huh?
through the connections again because
Uh-huh.
somebody who I went to school with got a job there as a production manager.
This was Klasky, right? Klasky Chupo.
Yeah, Maria Rodriguez. I owe her a lot.
Shout out,
Shout out.
Shout out
Marie
Maria
Rodriguez. Oh my God,
And,
Rodriguez.
she got, she knew what everybody's films were like
Uh-huh.
from school, and she was like, that guy can do that job, and that guy can do that
Wow.
job, and
How'd she get her job on The Simpsons? She just happened to.
I don't know.
Wow. But she was there and she recommended
She
you.
made it. Yeah,
We have
made
to
it
have
in.
Maria on the show if she's around.
Yeah. Make friends in college.
Oh man, that's advice that we
Yeah,
hear over and
should be
over again,
great.
and that it's so important. Like just connections.
Especially the
Yeah.
best ones in your class, even though they intimidate the hell out of you and you want to be better than them, make friends with them.
Yeah, for
Unless
sure.
they're assholes, then fuck them.
Yeah.
Be better than them.
Yeah.
You know
In
what?
that case,
Even if they are assholes, I feel like on some level you should be at peace with everybody. Like,
Yeah, I agree with Nick.
well, because what if they do end up getting like a job or something,
But
at
then
some, or
if
what if
they're-
you end up working with them
But if
at some
they're
point later
bad
on?
people, don't work with them.
Well,
they're
no.
gonna cause problems.
No, but what if like they are on a show and then you get hired? Sorry, you get hired onto that
He's
show.
hitting me
This
now.
is a good point. Wait, this is really good because what if like you get hired onto a show and they just so happen to work on that show already, and like you get hired
I'm
on?
not saying be dicks to them.
No, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, cause sometimes you have no choice. Sometimes you have to work with these assholes.
No, that's true, but they'll dig their own graves.
Yeah.
yeah.
in a way.
Just
So-
be at peace with everybody. Like, don't.
Be at peace, or maybe like
you don't have to go out of your way and make friends with them.
Yeah, that's what
But
I'm
just be
saying.
at peace. Like,
It's
don't
not like
even,
something good can happen to an asshole, like he can't become president or something.
right? I mean, some racist
Always have
assholes out there will
comeuppance.
never
Yeah.
become president.
They always get garbage dumped to them at the end of the teen movie. Okay.
Because karma.
Oh, garbage dump.
Yeah. They're like,
I hate
yeah.
garbage.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
be
Big truck jump.
cordial
exactly.
with everybody.
I'll never
That's always
live it
my
down.
advice. Just be good to everyone, no matter how much of a
Brian's
dick they
point,
are.
I like your point because, but you're young. Brian's point is
Well,
that-
because I've gotten to shitty places if I did show my I hate you
no,
side.
you gotta be politic a little bit, but it is nice that if you stay with your own integrity, you'll find your group of people.
Yeah,
And maybe those
naturally.
other guys go and do a better show, and
and
but
then
you
they
go
keep
with,
the assholes out. Just kidding.
yeah, you'll start to find your people. And
Yeah.
and you might as well be with the people you want to be with, because what if you pretend those are your people, and then you end up with being on shows with people you
surrounded
hate.
by assholes all the time.
Yeah, that's the worst thing. 'Cause
Yeah,
the best shows I've ever been on are just people who I enjoy. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter if the show sucked. I enjoyed all the people
Exactly.
I worked
And
with.
if you pretend to like an asshole, you're being a fake person.
Well, I
so-
don't think it's not that I'm saying pretend. Like
No, she's
them.
not
I'm
saying
saying
that.
like
Something
she's
about
just saying kind of like
kissing ass.
yeah, she's just kind of like be
kiss- yeah.
chill, like keep even.
No,
with
of course.
everybody.
just
I mean,
make sure
think-
that asshole doesn't hate you.
It's a good skill to develop in any industry, but in the entertainment industry, especially, to kind of be able to get along with everyone.
Make
Not
friends
like
with your
everyone, but
teachers.
get along with everyone. I think that's something that's important to do.
That's right, and I have learned
Yeah.
that sometimes there's. What are you guys laughing at?
Nick, were you saying no to me?
big.
Oh, I said make friends with your teachers, or not.
We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Not too friendly.
What were you saying, Dom?
Just that I have learned through the years that it's like those people are people too, and there are certain ways you can deal with them and actually. There's one person that I remember in particular, like I was enemies with, and then became not enemies, not friends, but
What's their name? I'm just kidding.
No.
no, but it was like
Only if you
you
want
know,
to.
a certain person could just rub you the wrong way from the get-go.
Yeah.
And then like you treat them with a certain amount of respect, tell them where you're coming from, and then suddenly we knew why we hated each other,
Yeah.
and we
You
started
guys were a
being like,
reflection of each other.
that's probably it. We were both
Mhm.
really anal retentive,
Uh-huh.
and
That does tend to happen a lot. You tend to
she was a
attract.
control freak on one side,
Yeah.
and I had my control issues.
Yeah.
But just by saying, "Hey, I got control issues," it was lightened it
Yeah,
up.
it's like,
Oh, okay.
oh, me
Got it.
too.
You
I
put
get
all the
it.
cards on
Yeah.
the table. Once you put
That
all
all-
the cards
yeah.
in,
That's fair.
That
That's
happens.
a good way to do.
Best sex
Law of
I ever
attraction.
had. No, just kidding.
She's watching right now like, what? She's coming. She's after
She's
you.
angry. She knows who it is.
She knows who she is. Okay, so I'm still kind of curious about like your first Simpsons gig, because we really didn't dig that much into it. But you said you were doing some stuff at UCLA, then you ended up on The Simpsons right after UCLA. What were you doing as your first gig on The Simpsons? Because this woman, what was her name? Michelle? What would you say her name was?
Maria.
Rodriguez.
Maria.
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 Rodriguez.
Maria.
See, I got it.
Maria ended up helping you get this job on The Simpsons at Klasky Chupo, and this was season 2 of The Simpsons or season 1?
2.
Season 2. And what was your official gig, their job on season 2 of The Simpsons?
It's called character layout. I think a lot of shows don't have that
Yeah,
position anymore, but they still have it there.
Yeah, we still hear those terms, layout. Can you explain what like a character layout artist did?
Well, a show would be storyboarded first,
Mhm.
and then it would go to layout artists who would put way more detail into it. So it's still not animating it, but posing it out a lot more than boards. Nowadays,
Okay.
we pose boards out a lot more, so they don't even hire the layout.
Is
people,
layout
but-
kind of like
Is-
like doing keys?
Yeah,
Well,
it's
is
like,
that
and
like-
it's on animation paper. It was like
Oh, okay.
It was official large form animation.
Is that like character designers now? How they do special poses? Is that basically what it is?
Oh, that takes place of special poses. Yeah,
So
there's a lot of
Mhm.
different things now
Yeah.
To
So a layout artist kind
to
of
save money.
yeah, that job kind of split into different jobs now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So how long did you do layout on The Simpsons? Was it just season 2, or did you do it for a few years?
For a year or so, and worked up to being an assistant director.
Oh, wow. In a year?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So
Did
by
you
season 3, you were assistant director?
were you asked to be assistant director?
Or did you
Um,
ask?
Yes, I was asked.
There you go, people.
What does that mean?
No, I just always want to know. Just because like there's some
Um,
cases where you asked. Like I remember
but
in
I
our
Yeah,
last
one.
episode, he actually asked for a promotion.
Mm-hmm.
So
But what I did do was I asked for a lot of things, and this goes to the like do what you want to do kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
like when there was a job of timing or something, and then they were like saying, hey, who can time the scene? I'd say me, and there was some storyboarding that needed to be done, so I'd say I'll try that.
So you volunteered like every time they asked for help.
Yeah,
every time there was a new job that you were like, I want to do it.
Like yeah, and like when Bart gets hit by the car, for instance, for some reason that wasn't storyboarded. It just says he's skateboarding around town and he gets hit by a car.
Wow.
And then they start the script from there. So I was like, well, that's got to have gags. It's got to have funny stuff. So I was having him like, go over cement dudes and doing all kinds of crazy flips and crazy things Bart would do in his character.
So that was you who did that.
And it actually got James Brooks got a little scream out of it when he watched it.
Oh yeah,
because it was a surprise to him.
It surprised him when he saw like this little guy did this down shot where it's like,
and then he comes close to the camera, and then the
little camera change. Yeah. And the car hits him. Brian remembers.
Yeah, it was a classic shot.
Brian is just like
but
a
I remember
library.
James Brooks, well, back then he was still watching animatics, and he was just like, what?
Nice.
So that was good.
You got the reaction of James.
I got a reaction.
Awesome. That's pretty cool. So I have another question. You were explaining what a layout artist is, or a character layout artist. Is that what it was called, or just a layout artist?
Layout artist.
Layout artist. And
well, they have character and background layout artists.
Oh, that's
okay.
So you're more character.
Yeah.
Okay. But another thing you said that I think has kind of disappeared from the animation pipeline. You said someone asked about timing, and you said, "Oh, I can time it." Mm-hmm. What exactly was that? Because I don't think we really do that anymore, right? Like timing sheets and X sheets and stuff.
A lot of people, certain places still do it.
Yeah, fuck X sheets. They're paying the ass.
Cartoon Network still does X sheets.
Oh yeah. Was it X sheets you were doing, or was it something else?
Yeah, there's like these giant sheets.
Yeah.
Describe what happens to every character in every frame.
And you volunteered to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Because I did them in school on my own films.
So it was like a frame. It was like frame by frame. It was like every frame was a new line.
Yeah.
And you had to write what happened on that frame.
Yeah.
I heard it's tedious, but I think it helps.
Well, they probably do it overseas, right? Or
in
Canada.
They would do it overseas for certain 2D animated projects, but nowadays you don't really need to do it, just to because it's digital, so all the timing is already done in a QuickTime. You can just match it to the actual animation. There's no reason to do an X sheet anymore.
I know Cartoon Network still does it.
Yeah,
probably for certain shit, probably Adventure Time.
Still does it.
Simpsons still does
no,
X sheets.
Uncle Grandpa did X sheets too.
It wasn't a digital show. That's why.
I feel like I know when I went over to DreamWorks, I saw some Curious George X sheets as well, so I know they're doing it there. So I guess a lot of places still. I mean, I don't have any experience with that at Starburns.
We stopped doing it because of the control issue. Because it's more control if you do it.
Yeah.
But in a way, it's also you're guessing because you're thinking you're some kind of mastermind.
Yeah.
And until you don't know for 6 months until it comes back in color if you were really that genius.
Terrible. Oh no, I'm an idiot.
That's the problem with X sheets. It's just it's all kind of interpretation and experimentation. You're basically taking text and hoping it'll translate into animation.
Yeah, that's really a weird way to do it. But I guess that was the norm.
It was the only
it's probably
way to
still
do
the
it.
norm of some places.
Yeah.
Was that called a timing director? Is that what that was called when you did that?
It's a timer.
Timer. What's a timing director? Because I heard that too.
It's
same thing.
It's the same thing. It depends on what show you're working on.
Oh, okay.
People should definitely look up these terms. Look into these.
Because these terms are slowly disappearing.
Yeah, positions and
it's a very important. It was a very important, very necessary skill. But in today's modern animation, you don't need it.
Yeah.
It's not something I would say you
cool
need to
to
learn
know.
how to do this thing.
What's your opinion, Dom? Do you think that this is something that the fact that we're losing timers and character layout, do you think that's hurting the way animation is now, or do you think it's kind of helping, or neither?
Yeah, it's a little of both. I mean, you're losing.
I think it's good to know it.
These great things, yeah. Like if you don't know how to draw, and then somebody gives you a robot arm that can draw for you. I don't know. It just feels like you're losing some of the craft.
Yeah.
I hate it. Just we're losing more work for people. I feel like we can take their skills and apply it somewhere else. We don't have to get rid of the person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'd probably make timers would make probably pretty good editors. We still need editors.
And we do need editors. That's something that's never going to die.
Instead of putting in the editing on the board artist.
Unless we get an edit computer machine that you press a button and it's edited. Boom, done. I have edited your project.
Then we're all dead.
Yeah.
We're all done. It's Skynet.
We're headed there.
Well, it's getting there. I mean, I feel like my job as a director is doing now 5 jobs.
Oh, yeah?
It
What are
used to
the
be just one?
What are the 5 jobs?
Storyboarding,
Uh-huh.
timing, editing,
Uh-huh. Character layout.
other things.
Layout, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely layout.
Going to the bathroom.
And you also know, I mean, I know this is not something that you needed to do, but for Harmon Quest, we'll get to the bulk of Harmon Quest later,
Yeah.
but you designed all the main
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's not usually the
as an
case
art
for most
director.
people. I think that's like
Yeah.
the special thing for you for that show in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
We
different
should-
for every
we should
show.
get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, so we're on The Simpsons now. Within 1 year, you went from being a character layout artist to an assistant director. Is that a big jump? I mean, to me, it seems like a big jump. But is that something that's normal? Or is that something that, hey
At the
man,
time
look at
it
me, I'm
was.
Dum, dust off my shoulder, I'm a badass.
I think it's a
Depends-
Dom game.
Yeah, it's a
it
Dom
depends
thing?
on how you are.
I
and who
did
you
7
are.
years of fucking school.
Yeah. Well, yeah. See, there
That's
you go.
true, yeah.
So
He earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
So-
earned it.
Do you recommend for people that are watching out there? Let's say we have somebody in school right now. Do you recommend going extra year,
Don't go to school.
Yeah. Now I would just recommend not to go to
I don't
fucking
want to be
college.
Oh,
80,000
come
in
on.
debt.
Yeah.
No, I know people who are like good artists and then never went to school and they're
Yeah,
directors and they're just doing great.
We had one last
For sure.
episode.
Oh yeah, Juan didn't.
He didn't
Juan
go to
go
college at all.
at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, we've
Not
had
at
a couple
all.
He's
of
great.
guests who've never went to school. I definitely recommend it. Here's the thing. I would say like the most important thing is kind of like know your skill set.
Yeah.
If you have no skills, go to school because eventually you will learn the skills and you'll learn more importantly connections.
Yeah.
But
I'm
if you're
always-
like a fantastic artist already on like Tumblr, DeviantArt, or whatever, just work your connections and you can
Yeah,
get. You can
and I'm
get
sure
more.
if you're proving yourself time and time again, making your own shorts, doing your own projects,
Yeah, you don't need to go to school.
then you're like, all right,
Yeah,
this is
you're-
what I can do. People are gonna see it.
Yeah,
they're gonna
you're
hire it.
already doing the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always telling people to go to those smaller schools, like CDA and stuff.
Like a year or two just
Yeah.
to learn like the programs.
The
and
ones that don't
applications.
offer degrees or anything, because I feel like the ones that do offer degrees are where you're going into debt, because those are like really cheap.
Well,
those classes and
I
stuff.
mean, the ones that don't offer degrees also can get pretty pricey, as
The
well.
CDA is pretty damn good for what it offers, and I've learned more at that little school than I did at my own college.
Yeah,
That's
I
cool.
like
Good
if you're in LA, I would just like take like classes.
Yeah, or workshops or life drawing sessions.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So he worked
Within a
up
year-
to
within
AD.
1 year, you went to an AD.
Yes.
How long were you an AD before you became a director? Was that something that happened?
So I did
Did
a
you-
really quick leap, and then it was like, oh, that's the Simpsons, and nobody wanted to leave those jobs. So
Yeah.
all the directors were like sticking around.
because The Simpsons blew up immediately. Like
Blew up,
after season
yeah.
1, it was the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah. And at the time, like I said, this was 1989.
Mhm.
I was like I loved the shorts on Tracy Ullman,
Mhm.
and then when they said they were doing a series for that
Yeah.
before it came out, wow, got quiet.
AC.
AC went off.
I was like, America won't be ready for that.
Yeah.
It was too cool. It was like just too good. And
It was the freaking
I was
coolest
surprised
thing.
that they caught on to it because it was totally done.
Well, that's interesting
time.
And it
because I was
changed.
watching on the Tracy Ullman show. Like I wasn't old enough to really get all Tracy Ullman's gags, but I got The Simpsons.
Yeah. It was easy to get. It was a simple point. It was funny. It was counterculture. It was in your face, and it changed
I mean,
America.
that's it. Counterculture wasn't a thing yet
Yeah.
to be culture. Now it's culture.
Now, yeah. Counterculture's been counterculture so long that it's just culture. Well, what's the new counterculture? We got to find something.
Yeah, that's true.
Rick and Morty?
Rick and Morty, maybe.
Maybe Rick and Morty. Okay, so you're on The Simpsons. Okay, you said you were an AD, but so no one wanted to leave those positions. So you were an AD for up until season.
So it just took a while.
Took a while. What does an AD do, by the way? Like what an AD on The Simpsons?
It's good.
What does an AD do? Because I know what a director does. I know what a character layout does now. But what
felt-
does an AD do?
Well, I felt like they do a lot of the things the director does, looking over scenes, fixing things,
Yeah.
timing, storyboarding, doing everything that needs to be done.
Do you guys just split it?
Kind of,
Split the
except
work?
the thing is, the director is the final say.
Yeah.
So it's like I like it to akin it to like Star Trek, where you're the number one.
Okay.
And
So you're a
then
Riker.
He could ask you, what do you think? Should I shoot this shot like this or that? And then you give your opinions.
Gotcha.
And but it's all on him. He's got to make the final says. And stuff.
I wish we had ADs.
Yeah, and those
Oh,
are
do-
another position that's getting gone.
We don't have
that's-
ADs now.
That's another position.
I was just thinking. I was like, do I know any ADs?
I was the AD on the Rick and Morty pilot, but I was
Mm-hmm.
basically director.
Oh,
It's
who is the
just-
director?
Justin.
Okay.
Because there's a trick in television, which a lot of people don't know. If it's your show, when you are the director in the first episode, you get royalty rights. So if you look at first episode of any show that, like, even like Lost, J.J. Abrams is the director in the
Yeah.
first episode of Lost.
Uh-huh.
But that's just so he can maintain royalty rights for the entire show.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's something that, like, creators do. They
I
get to
I
be
had no
directors
idea.
for first
That's
episode.
pretty cool.
Well, I knew
I'm
that
learning.
about writing. I didn't know that about directing.
Same thing with directing.
Except for animation directors don't get royalties.
I'm sure, like, show creators do.
Right. Well, he was already getting his.
Exactly. And he's also all the voices, so it
Yeah,
helps.
so Justin's not coming up short at all. Okay, so eventually you did become a director, though. So you did AD. So basically splitting the work of the director for several seasons, and eventually you became a director. What was the first season that you directed on The Simpsons? Do you remember?
7, maybe?
7? Do you remember the first
Wow.
episode you directed? Because, I mean, I can probably recall a lot of these
I
episodes.
think it was Sideshow Bob's Last Gleaming,
Ooh.
where he does something bad.
Does something bad.
Sideshow Bob's Less Gleaming. I'm sure if I
An
wa-
air show or something, and he
Yeah.
something to do with a nuclear bomb.
Oh.
And he tries to pull off,
Uh-huh.
and it blows up.
That I do remember, because there's a fake out, like the bomb goes off, and then we come back, and it's like it didn't.
Yeah, it was just a poof because it was an old bomb, so
Yeah.
it didn't quite.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool. What was your favorite episode you directed of The Simpsons? You have one?
I don't know.
You know, they're all good. Let's see. Let me think.
I mean, Bart Does Little League was kind of fun.
Oh yeah.
It's a good, solid story.
Uh-huh.
Maybe Homer and the Grease. I don't know.
Oh, Homer and the Grease you did? That's a good one. Wait. That's a really fun one. Cool. So you
I worked on
yeah.
30 episodes
Uh-huh.
before that. So
Okay, cool.
and those are more the classic period.
Yeah, like
Oh,
legendary
interesting.
stuff.
So do you have a favorite one that? Okay, say you didn't direct it, but do you have a favorite one that you worked on overall of a Simpsons? You just like them all.
They're all my babies.
Yeah.
How can you just love one child?
I can pick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Brian's an
We don't
evil
need-
father.
Nobody cares.
Everyone cares. Look, they're asking right
They're
now.
watching.
No, okay. No one's actually watching right now. Okay, cool. So after The Simpsons, right? You did up to season 9 you were on, or up until what season?
8 or 9.
8 or 9? And you were a director there for season 7, 8, and 9.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you end up getting your next gig? What was your next gig? Was it King of the Hill? Was it Family Guy?
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill was next?
And then.
And you started immediately as a director on King of the Hill?
Yeah, then I've been directing since.
Okay, because you were already directing for like 3 years at this point.
Yeah.
Nice. And did they ask you to come on to King of the Hill? How did that work?
There was an opening. I took it,
Oh, cool.
and then that episode went well, and I
Well, this is also all at Film
Ramen.
Ramen. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So there was a lot of once you're at a studio too, there's other projects that come in like later.
Yeah, for
Family
sure.
Guy came in, and I did season 1.
Oh, wow. Family Guy was the same
Family Guy.
place.
Mhm.
Interesting. So
Season
Family
1 was.
I did all those big shows.
Yeah, that's insane. That's pretty cool. Well, before we get into other shows you did, I have a question for you. Let's say that there's somebody who is a storyboard artist or something along those lines, and they're starting off. Next week is their first week as an animation director. Yeah, what advice do you have for this person?
Is this someone specifically?
Uh huh.
Okay.
I know this person, and he's starting. No, not really.
Wait, just starting off on
Yeah.
as director?
Mhm.
Well, they probably already
They don't need advice.
don't. They're probably fine.
How about somebody that wants to be a director eventually, but now is just in school or something like that?
To work your way up, I guess.
Yeah.
Start off in storyboarding.
Mm-hmm.
Get good at things.
Well,
Get
I
acquainted.
think you brought up something. You and Sabrina brought up something I thought was like super important. I think I mentioned the show is just learn all the jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, not only will you learn what you're good at and learn what you like doing, but like if you've done some character, if you've done some props, maybe if you've done some background, done some storyboarding, done some animatics, you're like, okay, once I move up,
Yeah.
to either art director or director or supervising director is like, I understand all the different roles and I'll help manage those positions better.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess
Yeah.
like you were doing, Dom. You obviously in school they kind of made you do every aspect of every different role essentially on your films, right? You kind of had a bounce roll to roll, and then when you were on the Simpsons starting off, you basically volunteered to do all these other jobs. So you learned the ins and outs of what you needed to do right from the get go.
Yeah,
So you
Dom
were
has
kind of prepared
Dom
yourself,
has
yeah.
made his own films too.
Yeah, for sure.
Know all those spots and positions as well.
Yeah. So what were you gonna say was important? Just the kind of, just like in general, knowing the ins and outs of every aspect.
Yeah, I think what Brian said is completely. If you want to direct, I mean, it's kind of not just. You'll be very insecure if you don't know what all the jobs are, or you'll just act like a total douchebag. You'll be like,
And you have to have an eye.
You'll
do that
pretend.
stuff and pretend you know what it is.
Yeah, you'll pretend to know, and everyone obviously knows you don't, but you're pretending. I've seen stuff like that before.
Yeah.
It's not pretty.
It's not necessary if you just. It's going to be a little nervous when you try a new thing. It's always going to be like, oh, I never tried that, and that's. But just push through it and go.
What was the hardest show you worked on?
hardest show?
Hardest, huh?
That's a good question.
Question.
With
Like the most challenging.
Yeah, with the most challenges. Simpsons, King of the Hill, Family Guy,
Okay.
Animals, Rick and Morty,
Cleveland.
Harmon Quest, Cleveland Show, Mission Hill.
Mission Hill.
You said Mission Hill.
I said King of the Hill.
Come on, you gotta say. There's something where it's like, oh man, that was a train wreck.
Or were they all just smooth like butter?
No, I think sometimes on King of the Hill and Simpsons, like rewrites and stuff would be
Yeah.
kind
Stressful?
of a pain. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like when you have a certain amount of time to finish a thing, and then they think suddenly the writers think that that whole script needs reworking, and then you're basically redoing. All
Yeah,
this
you're-
stuff.
The
you're-
more
It's a
prime
lot
time
more
the show
stress.
is, I guess, because
For
those
sure.
were prime time shows.
Yeah, they do
Yeah.
layers of looking at things. Like
You're always at the mercy of the writers, I guess, right? Because the writers have the ability to change things at any given moment.
Storyboard artists are like this with the writers.
Yeah, we need to have some writers on the show and say, hey, what's up with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, Rick and Morty is the same boat. Like, they kept rewriting things over and over again, right? I mean, was that an issue for you when you were on Rick and Morty?
last season they did that, and what it turned out on our end was it was just we got a lot of long lunches out of it because they didn't make us do it faster. Like has happened before.
I want to know how you got onto Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah, good question.
What
how'd
was
you end
your
up on Rick and
connection
Morty?
onto Rick and Morty?
Well, I quit Family Guy
You
to
quit
do
Family
my own
Guy.
film,
Oh,
Which
interesting.
was
which is called Lovesick Fool.
Nice. We'll talk more about that
I
shortly.
wanted to promote.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about Lovesick Fool. So wait, you quit Family Guy? That was
Well,
just
I
like
felt like I did everything.
Uh-huh.
I directed all these shows,
Uh-huh.
and then I directed like a couple of the Star Wars shows.
Yeah.
On there. And
Oh,
at
cool.
some point you go a little
So
crazy.
sweet.
And you need
I
to
didn't know
do
you
your
were
own
on the
thing.
Star Wars movies for Family Guy.
What?
I didn't know you did the Star Wars
Oh.
movies for Family Guy. That's awesome.
Yeah, I did a couple of those, and
Did you do the Blue Harvest one?
I got lucky that I got the Blue Harvest script, and I was like, "What is this? I know what? That's gonna be huge."
Good-
Yeah.
Considering we're Star Wars fans.
And it's so fun, yeah, because I'm a Star Wars fan. It's like taking peanut butter and chocolate, and putting them together, and,
Yeah.
and it was like really fun, and I don't know. Then you just go back to doing regular episodes.
Yeah, for sure.
And I always want to do my own stuff since the
For
beginning.
sure. Yeah.
I got cursed by having all the success because then I'm just working all the time. I don't
Yeah.
get to do my own thing. But
That's something we've never heard on the show
if
before.
I got fired,
Nice.
I would have more time to work on my own thing.
Yeah.
It's a struggle.
So you just were wishing you would get fired. You were just wishing
I'd
it
be
so much you're like,
depressed,
screw
but-
this, I have to quit.
Yeah, so I quit.
Okay, cool.
For
Good.
2 years, I worked on my own film,
Nice.
and then it's coming out soon. But
How did you get money for those 2 years?
I saved up.
Saved up, man.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah,
Tip.
that's like old animation level.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. So you saved up. You
But-
quit. You quit Family Guy. You worked on your own film for 2 years. During those 2 years, did you do any freelance jobs or anything like that? You were just solely were dedicating it to your film.
Yeah, I thought, hey, I go to work every day and sit in front of a desk
Yeah.
for 8 hours. That's how I treated it.
Oh,
Like,
cool.
if I can do that for someone else's project, I can do it for mine.
That's intense. That's really dedicated. That's like dedication. I don't think a lot of people will have the balls to do that. That's crazy.
Or think like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but that's the thought. It's like you're already doing it, but this is to make somebody else millions of dollars.
Yeah.
How about me? I didn't make the millions,
Uh-huh.
but I could have.
You could, or you might
or
still.
I might still.
Doesn't matter.
That's like
it's
some
like
one of the.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
It's just the accomplishment and
Yeah.
For
like
sure.
watching your own piece.
I mean, that's-
your
that's-
masterpiece.
Getting back to where I started.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Making my own films. It's
Yeah.
so great. It's fun. It's expression.
And
And it-
having seen the film, I was like, yeah, it's definitely your voice and carries through.
Yeah, for sure. And I haven't seen it yet, but I'm gonna watch it soon.
So you said, wait, is there a place where people can see this film or like?
Oh, do you want to start promoting it now?
Let's
Start
promote
by-
it now since we're on the topic of
Okay.
it.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about it now. We'll go back to Rick and Morty and stuff in a minute. So yeah, talk a little bit about Lovesick Fool and where people can watch it. Or if you don't want them to watch it, yeah, tell them when it's going to come out and whatnot.
Yeah, it's out on Vimeo on demand right now, but it might be at other places. I have a distributor who's going to try to get it out to different internet things. So Vimeo on demand, it's called Lovesick Fool, Love in the Age of Like.
Nice.
And it's about a single guy looking for love in LA. And
Cool.
it's about more than that, though. It's about the crazy world we live in.
Nice.
And
Fuck
how it
Trump.
affects us all and
Yeah.
how it's... What?
Said fuck Trump.
It's pre-Trump,
Yeah.
but it's related. It
Yeah.
can be related.
Yeah, yeah, it
Forever
is.
ago,
It's
but
got
still.
media in it. It talks
Uh-huh.
about media. It talks about I don't know. I just want to make sure everything's in it. It's got
Mhm.
people that you're eating. There's sex. There's
Nice.
violence,
Those are my 3 favorite things.
and there's people.
Wow, you
people
catered to
talking.
Hollywood.
This fame, like the homeless guy with who won the Oscar.
Yep,
This is a great
there's-
bit.
it talks about fame.
Spoilers. No, I'm joking.
It's the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
That's
either.
pretty
I
cool.
haven't seen it.
Can you tell us anything else about it, like who's in it or anything like that?
Oh yeah, so I got Janine Garofalo
My heart.
Nice.
and Lisa Kudrow
Beautiful.
Wow.
and Fred Willard, and
Nice.
Fred Willard.
Bro.
they're all
Of Christopher Guest fame.
How long is this
really
film?
fun. 45 minutes.
Wow.
That's great. And you did it 100% by yourself? Did you get anybody else to help you with it?
My brother David helped me with like lip syncing and doing the audio.
Cool.
Because all I know how to use is Storyboard Pro, and
Mhm.
I drew every frame. Oh, and I had a small crew of people coloring for me.
Oh.
Awesome.
They could color it right in Storyboard Pro?
Yeah, I
Mhm.
color
Oh, wow.
picked it. Yeah, the whole movie's done in Storyboard Pro except for some of the combination of elements that my brother used other programs for,
Wow.
but it was all created out of Storyboard Pro.
That's a relatively unprecedented thing to have something created entirely in Storyboard Pro, right?
because
Or is
I
that-
looked at
yeah.
the animation programs and they were just I didn't want to learn something new.
I don't think anyone, to my knowledge, I've never heard of another film done in Storyboard Pro.
Wow,
I think
Dom is the
you might
first.
have done the first.
World
That's insane,
record,
man.
guys. Guinness
Yeah.
Book of World Records.
Toon Boom should have given me a free
Yeah.
something.
Toon Boom, if you're listening,
It's
maybe
good
one day we can
advertising.
we can get a Toon Boom person on one day. If we do, we can tell them about it and be like,
You're gonna go down in
oh yeah,
history.
hashtag, is that what you're saying, Nick?
First
Hashtag
man
what?
who did a whole movie in
Oh,
Storyboard Pro.
hashtag Toon Boom. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
For sure,
maybe
hashtag.
there's been some shorts, but definitely not
Shorts,
not
yeah.
a 4 or 5 minute.
Yeah, that's great.
Good job.
But it's great because once I started realizing that thing can color
Uh-huh.
and that thing can do everything.
Yeah.
So you've been submitting this film to film festivals.
Oh yeah, so it's gotten some festival attention and got some awards and stuff.
Cool.
And I was trying to pitch it as a series, but
Uh-huh.
that hasn't happened yet. So
Yet.
I thought I'd release it as the film and see
Cool.
how that goes.
Cool.
Nice.
Nice.
And you said that
Fun.
people can see it on Vimeo on demand?
Yes.
Cool. And they just search for Lovesick Fool.
I'll put the links down below.
Can you say the full title one more time?
Lovesick Fool, Love in the Age of Like.
Love in the Age of Like.
And also, there will be a premiere screening
Ooh.
if you're in LA November 10th at the Nerdmelt.
Cool. Then
Nice.
This
I'll
will
be
be up
there.
by
Meltdown
then.
Comics.
This will be
Nice.
up by then.
Yeah, this will definitely be up. This will be up probably next week or the week after.
Yeah.
So this is perfect. Yeah, so
And that'll be a
November...
free screening.
Free screening? It's free. Free screening at Nerdmelt.
Lucky
November
bastards.
10th of Dominic Polcino's movie, Lovesick Fool. Check it out.
I highly,
Be there.
highly recommend it. I've seen it twice.
I wanna go
It's
see.
Great.
Highly recommended by everybody.
Yeah, we should all go.
Yeah,
oh
we
my
will
God,
all...
we should
oh, yeah,
film
we're
the whole
definitely... We're all
thing.
going to be there. I'm going to
Let's
be
go
there.
live.
You guys will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Well,
film
then I gotta
it.
go.
Yeah, you
That'll
should
be
come.
cool.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I guess you gotta go.
you don't have to go, Dom. It's fine. It's cool. It's cool. You can sit. You can sit this one
We're
out.
inviting you. We're inviting you. Hey, Dom, you want to come with us to that one screening on November 10th?
I don't know. I have something else to do.
He's washing his hair that day, so it's really important. Really important. Okay, so we were just touching upon Lovesick Fool. That's gonna be so much fun that night. So if you're watching this, you're in LA, check it out. But a minute ago, before we got on that topic, we were talking about Rick and Morty and how you ended up getting on Rick and Morty. So you took 2 years off. You made Lovesick Fool. It's out there. People are going to be watching that soon. How did you transition back into the industry? Because I know a lot of people probably are.
They're scared of that.
They're scared of that, but they're also probably really inspired by doing that. That's like a very like out of the ordinary thing to do, to take time off, 2 years off, work on your own stuff, and then
some people travel.
Yeah, kind of go back into the industry. So how did you end up getting back into the industry?
Yeah, it was rough because when I was leaving, everybody's saying, "Hey, can you work on this?" And there's all these job offers. But
Yeah.
Years go by and people start those offers start trickling
dwindles.
in.
Yeah, 2 full years. That's a long time.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was a little bit rough. So I did take the first thing that came along, and
Okay, what was that?
it's called Murder Police.
Murder Police.
I know Murder Police.
And
oh yeah, I think you told me about that. That's something that never ended up getting made, right?
Unfortunately,
it was
yes.
made for Fox, but then there was some change of hands at the top, and they decided not to show it.
Wow. And the whole season got made.
Yeah,
13 episodes.
I wonder if they'll ever release it on DVD. That would be great.
Hey man, hashtag bring back Murder Police. I don't know, maybe.
Yes.
Is it worth it? I have no idea what it is or anything.
I'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows stuff.
Ryan knows stuff.
He had that face.
Satire about police and stuff.
Cool.
I saw the pilot that I stole it from Adult ADHD, but they don't exist anymore, so fuck them. But I stole it from their servers, and I saw the pilot. I was like, this is a great show. This is really fun.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I love the concept that it's actually a mystery you can solve.
Oh.
I don't know if they kept that for the series, but it was like a really interesting
That's pretty
idea.
cool.
Yeah, I guess each show had a kind of a mystery, but it was written by a Family Guy head writer and
Nice.
co-created by the guy who did shit.
King of the Hill?
You can cut this. You're editing, right?
We edit some
Oh, got
things.
another person. Edit this.
Yeah.
That King of the Hill show that was the opposite that Mike Judge did.
Good Family.
Good Family.
Yeah, I think
Like,
that
I
guy
love
who
the
did
Good
the
Family.
art.
Juan worked on Good Family.
Yeah.
The art. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess the guy who conceptualized
The Good
that
Family art.
show.
Okay.
Did
Murder Police.
as well.
Interesting. So Murder Police, what studio is that?
Bento Box.
That was Bento Box.
Oh.
And is being at a small studio at this point, is that where you made connections and that's how you ended up moving on to Rick and Morty, or was that what was next?
I think just through the years you got connections.
Yeah.
And then I knew somebody. Yeah, from
Who did you know from Rick and Morty?
Pete Michaels.
Pete Michaels.
Who I went to UCLA with.
And he's
Yeah.
Right.
yes,
So
I
we're all
remember
buddies on
that.
that first show on first job on Mattel.
Pete Michaels was there?
Yeah, Pete Michaels
Pete
also
Michaels
worked
was
on The
there.
Simpsons. He is also a teacher
And
at my
so-
school right
and
now.
Yeah,
And
friends.
Family Guy.
So Pete
Yeah,
Michaels
there
helped
you
you
go.
make the circle and square game at Mattel?
Yeah.
See and say.
Yeah, Pete Michael, we got to get him
And
on.
now he was first
Yeah.
season
Rick
and Morty.
That's
director.
great.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really
Supervising.
cool.
Supervising director.
Supervising director of first
There we
season
go.
Rick and Morty.
Okay.
So you went from Murder Police to Rick and Morty. Was that your next thing, or was there anything
I think
between? Cool.
There was some time, like 6 months between.
Oh, okay.
So
What would you do during that 6 months?
just get depressed. Drink,
Really?
Drink a lot.
Nice. That's great.
What?
Oh, did you really get depressed?
would've
Because we
done.
talk about that on the show. Because a lot of times people out there are like doubting themselves. Even somebody that's been like a director apparently gets feelings
Dude,
of
we
doubt.
all go
You
through
know.
hard
So
times. No
how
one's
did you pick
fucking
yourself
perfect.
up from that?
Well, the first time it was easy because I had a project
Uh-huh.
to work on, and I got those actors, those
Yeah.
amazing actors to help, to give me validation.
Yeah.
So I knew I was doing something. But now that that was done, then you just have no work. That's different. That's,
Yeah.
That's just depression.
Sure. How did you kick yourself out of depression? A lot of drinking.
Got a job.
You got a job. Nice. Yeah.
A lot
That's the
of
way to do it
drinking.
for sure. So
Yeah,
I
if
know
you don't
that-
have a job, just drink a lot.
I know there's a lot of people
According
out
to
there.
Ant.
Obviously, yeah. According to me,
The time will go faster.
time will go faster if you're blacked out.
We'll just die.
A lot of people out there, obviously, are people that are starting up in the industry, people that are watching, and a lot of them often have feelings. I know I did, and a lot of other people are also having feelings of doubt when it comes to if they think they can succeed in the industry. So that is a universal feeling that everybody has, and obviously you have to work through it and you have to persevere. I think that's also a really important point to put out there. You always
we all go through
keep going, and eventually you'll get a job.
Know that it's normal to go through hard times. Let
Sure.
yourself actually feel those feelings. Like,
So
just go through it.
because I know we're coming up on a little over an hour here, and usually we kind of do like an hour and change. So we're gonna push forward a little over for Rick and Morty. You did what? Animals next, right?
Yeah.
We migrated onto that.
What do you think? Did you Animals?
And again,
was
that was the same studio.
Yeah.
We migrated.
Starburns.
yeah, for sure.
Industries.
And then Animals, you went over to Harmon Quest, season 1.
So
and
explain
Harmon Quest. Was that your first time as a supervising director?
It was.
Cool.
How did they ask you to be basically the leading style of that whole entire show? Like,
How did that
Spencer
happen?
come to you and say that he wanted it in your style? Like, how did that happen?
No, that was again. Actually, I was thinking about that the other day because I did what I always did, which is say I can do that. So when they pitched it to me, actually, I was like, this sounds really weird. I'm working on Rick and Morty. It's great. What do I need this? Harmon Quest sounds like a jack off thing.
I mean, it's got his name in the title.
Yeah. He's like,
Freaking Dan Harmon.
he's
Yeah.
blah blah blah. I'm Dan Harmon. Blah. I don't even know that guy, right? I met him like once in the whole show.
Yeah.
But then like that night, I was like, wait, this is supervising, and it's about Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
And it's totally a show I can do. So I called the next day. I made sure that the producer, David Ichioka, was like, can you make sure to tell them I play Dungeons and Dragons when I was a kid?
Wow.
So
cool. So is it something that
experience to it?
is it something that you heard about in the studio and then you approached David?
No,
or
David just walked
they
into
came
my
over
office,
to you?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Had you worked with David before then?
No, I never met him. So that was just all this unknown stuff.
Were you surprised he wasn't Asian?
Ichioka.
Like everyone
Spoiler
else
alert.
was?
Yeah. David
Sorry,
Ichioka.
inside
Yeah.
joke, because his last name's Ichioka.
He
and
took
then
his
you
wife's last name. Yeah,
Very
Ichioka.
Japanese last name.
His wife is Japanese. Sorry.
Ichioka. Cool. So,
But my intention when I talked to Dan was I asked him right up front, is this a real cartoon or is it like some CG like fan thing with Flash or something?
Yeah.
I said, like Rick and Morty is great. I would love to make a show like that. And
Yeah.
He said, yeah, it's going to be real. And then from then on, I was like, they did hire an art director, but I was like, didn't like that dude.
oh, they did.
It didn't seem like right.
Really?
For it. I just had a vision for it.
Yeah,
They
for
had
sure.
a pilot of a
Yeah,
different
because
style.
the pilot looked really weird,
Okay.
and I was scared about that because I don't think I would want it.
I think I know
Take it
the
out.
I think I know the designer for the pilot. If it's who I think it is,
Let's
it's
not
like
mention
more.
any names
It was more
because-
realistic. It was
Yeah.
more action oriented. I would
mean, it
say.
looked
Right?
nice,
It
But
was-
it's not even
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
fact that it's good or bad. It's just
Yeah.
that it's not the kind of cartoons we make, which is
Yeah.
just real well drawn.
Yeah, actual
stuff
cartoons,
that's
yeah.
actually funny and it has more
It
capability.
looked good for what it was for the pilot.
Yeah.
Like, and what was
Yeah,
used.
but we definitely
Yeah.
knocked it up by 10 notches for the actual show. So coming in as a supervising director, and this is your first time doing that, is this something that you went in with a high level of confidence, or did you have any kind of like nerves going in on being your first time doing a supervising director gig?
Oh, I think I was well ready for that.
You well ready for it?
Sure, yeah.
Cool.
I mean, things you learn as a director is what your friend you were telling me about. Is just be ready to, be a guy who can't be afraid of conflict. Like,
Yeah.
You got to tell people what to do, and
For sure.
and not worry about it. But as long as you know what you're doing, it's fine.
Yeah, for sure. And on Harmon Quest, it's interesting juxtaposition because you're supervising director, but you're also the art director on the show, right? So that was kind of like do you
Yeah, well, I
consider
love
yourself?
that part.
Yeah.
I love that I could become that. I didn't want to try to do that, but
Yeah.
I just I really know what the show should look like, and then I did it.
That
just
was
doing
fun.
It.
Yeah.
That was by far my favorite show to work on.
Me too.
Yeah.
I loved it. It's so much fun.
I liked
It's a
the
great show to
style
work
a
on.
lot.
Show,
The
hey,
style
that's
was so
on
fun.
VRV right now.
Oh yeah, let's plug Harmon Quest. If you're listening to this, watch Harmon Quest on VRV. The first episode of season 2 is free, and the entire first season is free. Dominic was a supervising and art director on both seasons. Me and Sabrina both worked in it. Brian works at Starburns right now, which is where it produces. So by like osmosis, he worked on it.
I worked on season 1.
Yeah,
I was character designer.
it's a great show. Please check it out
it's
on
really fun.
VRV.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Cool. So
Fun and funny. That's what I shoot for.
Finale. Oh, it's tonight.
and also the Rick and Morty finale is tonight, according
shit.
to.
You don't have to watch that.
Yeah, but
Oh, it's tonight, Sunday?
Yeah.
Because we saw it early.
we saw it earlier.
Did you work on the finale? Who worked on the finale?
That was Anthony's episode.
Anthony
Oh,
Chan.
okay.
Oh, but you know what Dom did work on? If we have time to bring this up real quick, is my favorite episode of the season is the Citadel of Rick's episode.
Yeah, that was a fantastic.
That was
episode.
I love that episode so much. Can you tell anybody? I know there's probably
It's funny
some
because
people-
you only did half of it.
Yeah. Oh, you only did half of the episode.
Well, because of the nature of animation, sometimes gigs start up before you're ready to go. So that wasn't done by the time Anthony had to leave for Harmon Quest. I know I'm dropping the lead.
Oh
right
yeah.
there.
I left. Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
and Dominic.
Yeah. Oh.
I was looking at you.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys talking about?
I don't know. Yeah, but so wait, you directed that episode, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It was called originally Tales of the Citadel, but then we changed it to something else.
The Rick Lantis
The-
mix-up.
yeah,
Because they
yeah.
wanted to mislead.
They wanted to trick
and the
everybody.
promotional. Yeah.
Rick Lantis.
For some reason, that episode, got a lot of attention. It somehow came together and became like a fan thing.
Yeah.
Just because it's so
It was so weird the way it was
Very
done. It was
dark.
like
stuff with.
there was 4
Ricks
full
and Mortys.
stories. Yeah, it was like 4 full stories, and none of them seemed rushed. None of them, all of them came together.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was a really well
But
executed
yeah, that was
episode.
definitely.
Do you have any stories about working on that episode?
That was no. I mean, that one in particular was just great writing, great rewriting. I think. It was
Yeah.
just,
It's true.
I was glad to be in the right place at the right
Yeah.
time.
I'm sure both you guys can attest to the fact that working on Rick and Morty, the end product isn't what you last looked at when you were like the
No,
last.
they
Because they
make
change it
changes
even
constantly.
after you're done directing the episode. They keep changing stuff, right?
Yeah, it's like more so this season than previous seasons, but now it's like par for the course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting the way they do that. Because I mean, who do they get to? I guess they keep one border around to change
They'll
things.
ask like Erica.
Yeah.
They'll come back. Juan will come back, and they'll just like kind of do spot fixes on occasion.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, I guess Dan and Justin are
Yeah.
the creators of the shows. You guys know?
Yeah.
Shout out.
Shout out.
The voice thing.
They're just very
yeah.
perfectionist.
Yeah.
They want to make a cartoon history. It'll be lived forever in some form or another. So.
Yeah, for sure. So, do you have a favorite show you've ever worked on?
I'd just say Harmon Quest.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's check it out, folks.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like it's so lighthearted. Just a bunch of people on stage, live on stage, playing Dungeons and Dragons, riffing, and there's not much structure to it. And that's what we try to keep the animation the same way. And they're just coming up with stuff as they go, and that's a really fun way to animate. So,
Yeah. Dom put his whole heart and energy into that show, and it really shows.
For sure.
So.
Cool. Yeah, it was my favorite show to work on too. Cool. So let's
things
see.
that are great. It's great, and all these shows are great.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've been lucky that way that some stuff you can work on
Yeah.
could just be like, why am
Fun.
I wasting my time every day doing
Yeah.
this?
Outside of one that we know, and I'll just say Cleveland show. All the other shows you've worked on, those are A+ shows, quality shows that people remember fondly in one way or another. Even Mission Hill, it's obscure, but the people I know who've seen Mission Hill all love Mission Hill.
Yeah,
So you also deserve credit for that.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, every show you've touched seems like it's been pretty successful, which is pretty cool. Not a lot of directors can say that. And that Mattel game, man, most successful Mattel game.
CNC,
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
knows
Wait a
CNC.
minute, Sabrina, how old are you? Did you play it when you were a child?
Kidding. I was born 92, so I have no clue.
Yeah, I think you missed the CNC
Yeah.
I
revolution.
thought it was a Spanish word for a moment.
CNC?
Yeah.
CSA?
See, ASA?
CSA. I can't believe we did that.
Yeah.
Coined that.
So, Dom, do you have any last advice for aspiring animators, directors, storyboard artists, anybody that wants to get into the animation industry? Do you have any more last minute advice for them that you think could be effective? Dig deep into your cerebellum.
Well, just try try to get your stuff good enough to get a job, and then once you're working, keep at it.
Do you have any advice for that stage of trying to get good enough?
Well, since nobody can afford school, it seems like everybody now just learns on the internet, which is kind of free. But drawing, I mean, I just drew, when I was a kid.
You made a lot of film stuff, so like your own personal stuff. You actually dedicated a lot of time to personal work. I think that's a good piece of advice to give to people is dedicate a lot of time. At least make one film in your lifetime. I think
and we've had people on the show that say they've told us that they're too busy to work on personal stuff, or they really want to but they don't have a chance. And you're somebody who's actually taken 2 years out of their career. They press pause.
That's inspiring me
to work on their own stuff. Yeah, that's inspiring me too.
I kind of want to do that really bad.
That's great. I can't afford to do that.
I can't wait to say.
I have
maybe
to figure that out.
Maybe one day I could. But,
well, I needed that. Maybe there's a way you can schedule it a certain way where you work weekends.
Yeah.
Goof off.
Freelance.
Oh, not goofing off is tough. That's cool. Well,
usually in the business, people have hiatuses, so there's at least a couple months to.
Oh, for sure.
Usually.
I need to stop playing video games. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I quit video games since college.
Smart.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one difficult addiction.
Yeah, me too, I guess. But
And the other part of advice is just keep. If you want to do more than what your job is, once you're in there, learn it, do it.
Yeah.
Talk to people who do it, because once you're in a company, you can totally, and people don't hate you.
Especially a smaller studio.
Yeah, smaller studio.
Definitely show ambition and drive, ask questions throughout the day and stuff.
Work hard, and then when that thing rolls around where people are like, can you do character design?
Yeah.
You go, yeah, I can do that. And they give it to you. And
Or
Yeah,
side
for sure.
projects and stuff.
Prove it.
Like Rick and Morty has so many side projects.
I mean, a lot of Harmon Quest, we hired a lot of people who had never worked in the business before.
Oh, wow.
And,
I recommended one
That's true.
person.
Yeah.
did you?
Joy.
You
Remember
recommend-
Joy?
Now she's a regular
Who's
at
Joy?
Starburst.
No, of course.
Yeah.
I know
Doing
Joy.
backgrounds.
I
and-
recommended her.
Yeah, she's a
Yeah,
regular.
and some people did get hired, but then they were like, but I want to do character this or that. And then I gave them a shot, and then they proved.
Oh,
they
see,
could do
there
it,
you go.
And now they're
Yeah.
doing it forever. So.
That's true.
Cool.
And now they're a staple.
Yeah,
of
always
Starburst.
show. Yeah.
I know people the opposite, like where they spend like 20 years doing one task all the time. And,
Yeah.
And then
They don't say anything?
They don't say anything.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do something else.
There's a lot of people like that. And it's one of those things like you didn't learn then. Why are you gonna learn now? It's even harder. As opposed to when you're young and fresh and you have like all these like avenues and opportunities.
People aren't mind readers.
I think speak up. That's really important. Speak up. Say you can do it. I can do this. And then put yourself out there. Is there anything else you guys want to add before you wrap up?
Brian's words of wisdom?
Brian's.
I think I kind of gave it too early.
Yeah, you did give it earlier about the whole. Yeah.
Sometimes
Brian's
Brian's
corner?
Brian's words of wisdom.
Yes.
That's what the
Zooms in
chair's
on
for.
Brian.
It's the power.
Yeah.
Has the power.
We do we Photoshop a fireplace crackling next to him. And we have one of those frilly things around the outside of the frame. Yeah.
Chardonnay
Yeah.
in my hand.
Brian's words of wisdom. We have
a smoking jacket.
You know what? When we
Shallow
actually
fire in the
upgrade
background.
equipment, we should actually film it like that.
Yeah.
We should make a whole gag out of it. That would be
We could
great.
just get a
Fun.
green screen and do that.
I'd be like the Continental and fucking God, I can't think of his name right now. SNL.
Christopher
Yeah.
Walken. Yes,
Christopher
thank you.
Walken.
Walken.
Yeah.
The production of this podcast should eventually
One
become
day.
that, where
One
we'll have
day.
fancy equipment for
Cool.
that stuff. Editing, guys,
Yeah.
editing.
Well done.
Editing, kids.
Where can people check you out online? If you want people to check you out, we already plugged your movie on Vimeo on demand. Lovesick Fool, Love in the Age of Like. Is that correct? Did I get that all right?
Yeah. You could,
YouTube.
Where else can people check you out?
Like the Lovesick Fool page and on Facebook and
Or lovesickfool.com.
I don't know.
Is
People
that a
can't
thing?
check me out. I don't got.
Send me more links
Yeah,
later.
lovesickfool.com. Yeah.
Yeah. You
We'll
said
have
YouTube.
a link.
You
That'll have a
also-
link to the Vimeo screening, and
I'll probably find your YouTube on there then. No?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember my YouTube page. It's
It's a
weird.
treasure hunt.
Crap.
I'm telling you, it's fun to kind of search for that stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
Kind of dive
It's
deep.
secret though. It's a secret page. It's not like for most people. It's for
Only if you're cool.
you have to be cool.
It's like it's the Emperor's New Clothes. It's you can only see it if you're cool.
All right.
I bet you can see what the student films looked like back in the day.
That should be
on.
fun. Yeah, I'm excited
Yeah, I
to
wanna
see
see
that. For sure. Well,
Alrighty.
I think we're gonna wrap things up here, and we're gonna
go live.
We're gonna live in a minute and see if anybody is watching live, and maybe they can ask you some fan questions online. But
Little toots.
little toots, I guess, is that what we call them? We always change it, don't we? I thought it was.
No.
It's not ass hats.
No, it was
I think
little
it was
toots.
ass for like a minute, but
Oh.
now it's
Yeah,
a
and
little
then we
toots.
changed
These
it
are
to
our fan
something
base. We're calling our
Little
fan base
toots.
ass hats and toots.
We'll go see what they say.
Shards.
The
The
shards.
shards.
Well,
Or the
listen,
haters.
I think we're winding down here. I mean, we learned a lot from Dom. We definitely it was having a supervising director on, especially somebody that could wear so many hats like Dom, was definitely a privilege and an honor to have you on today, Dom. So thanks for coming on today. We appreciate you stopping by.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So please look up his film, Lovesick Fool, Love in the Age of Like, on Vimeo on Demand. It's an awesome film and recommended by all three of us. We will see you guys next time in the Ass. Thank you for joining us, and
Thank you, guys.
you,
Thanks,
Dominic. See you guys next time in the Ass.
Bye.
Peace out, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for telling us your ass, Dom. You revealed your ass to all of us.